Decent point for us. I think Tring probably edged the game in all fairness. I think they probably tested Desi a little bit more than maybe what we tested their keeper. But that didn't mean to say that we didn't have some chances, because we certainly did in the second half. We had some good opportunities where I think we could have done a little bit better and hit the target a little bit more. But yeah, we had to work really hard in the game. I think they're a good team. They move the ball really well. They've got a good shape in terms of how they play, and it tests you as an opposition. I think that we tried a couple of things to counteract it. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. And I felt that we probably stumbled across the right kind of shape for us at the end of the game, after we conceded the equaliser, and I felt that it gave us a little bit more control and gave us an opportunity to be able to impact them a little bit more. So overall it was a point that was certainly happy to take. I was really impressed with the terms of the way that the lads worked. As I said, we tried a few different things, and they move the ball well and they keep the ball well, and so actually out of possession you have to work really hard to try and impact them, and I felt that we did that, and the boys were really unselfish in a lot of that work. So that was a real pleasing aspect for me. And even going back to the kind of the Crawley Green and Kempston games, one of the criticisms I had of the players a little bit was, as much as I felt that we were in those games, I wouldn't want to say the opposition wanted it more, because I don't believe that actually when you hear that from a manager, but I felt they played with a better intensity. But I don't think that was the case on Saturday. I felt that our intensity was good. I thought that our approach to the game was right. Yes, I want to see us with more quality, but we had a few players missing as well, and we had to change things a little bit as we went along. So overall, it was a good point. We go back to September when we played them in the Vars, and we were leading at half time in that game as well, conceded after half time, and really capitulated, and that was a kind of a real line in the sand moment for us a little bit in terms of where we needed to get to. And so I think that last Saturday was evidence of progress on our side. I want us to be better. I want us to kind of be able to impact opposition a little bit more than what we did in that game on Saturday. But there was good resilience on show. We're proving ourselves difficult to beat. Again, I want to win more, but we're proving difficult to beat. And I think that we're not easy to score against of late. So these are all positives. We need to make sure that we retain those good aspects of those games and take on the kind of the added quality piece that we need going forward. But yeah, look, full credit to Tring. I thought they were good, and like I say, I wouldn't feel they would probably feel a little bit undeserved in terms of the result. But from our side of things, I was really pleased with it, and it was a good point. Yeah, so unfortunately we've lost Lewis Smith to Hendon this week. I'm really pleased for Lewis. I've got a really good relationship with him, and when he came in the summer and joined us, I kind of always had in the back of my mind that it might not be a multi-year type of situation for him, and that he's had ambition to go and play higher again. But he wanted to be in a situation where he was going to be enjoying his football and played with a team that kind of suited how he plays, and I felt that we were good for him in that sense, and he was great for us. He was a real important part of kind of the building of what we've been doing so far. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes players help you get along in the journey, but they're not always there to kind of reap the rewards at the end of it. But he's gone to step 3 now, and Hendon, it's a good club. It's a pitch over there that will really suit him. He'll be able to get on the ball and play. So yeah, disappointed to lose him, but really pleased for him, and I know that he'll go and give it a real good go. He's certainly got the ability to be able to go and do it. So I don't really envisage that we'll kind of bring anyone in specifically to try and replace him. I think that we've got good players in the group already. Some are coming back to fitness, and players who are waiting, kind of chomping at the bit to kind of get in the team and try and show what they can do. So I'm pretty pleased with where we are as a squad in terms of that. We'll take a look and see. We'll take a look and see what the lads do in training, obviously over the next game, heading into Baldock, and then what we do moving forward. One area that we have added, obviously previously since we last spoke, was adding Finbar King in from Wormley. He made his debut against Tring off the bench last Saturday. So Finbar's a player I've worked with in the past at Harpenden. He can score goals at its level. He scored 7 goals already this season for Wormley. So he wants to play more regular football and to be that number 9 in the team. I think it's an area that we can add a player. So I was pleased to get him added to the group. I think he's got great quality. He's got a good left foot. He can score goals. He's another player who really probably needs to find somewhere that he's settled and can play his football and enjoy it. Again, I think that having worked with myself and Rob and in the past, the kind of the assimilation period will be obviously a bit shorter for him, and he'll understand in terms of what we want from him probably quite quickly. So yeah, excited to add him in. Look, it's been spoke about a lot, and I spoke with Andy about it many times, and we talked about it internally that we need to score more goals, and I hope Finbar can really add that to us. And then in the rest of the squad, we're in pretty good condition. We've had, probably the last 4 or 5 weeks, or maybe even longer, really, that, the injury list on a training night has been 6 or 7 long, in terms of who's needed to kind of see the physios. A little bit of a break around the period and not so many games recently has allowed us to get back to fitness. So that's a good position. There's no real major concerns. Cody's close. Obviously, he's had his broken hand, so he should be back pretty soon. And then, we've had lads who've been away for the Christmas period. He'll be back in training today. So that's really positive. Malik, who obviously we signed in the summer, who's been out long term with an ACL injury. We're starting to integrate him now into more of the training, so it'll be another step forward for him tonight. Carl Davison-Gordon, obviously, who's been at the club for a while now. He's another kind of long-term injury, but again, he'll be kind of joining in tonight and taking part in a bit more of the session. So the squad's in a really healthy place to really go and attack the second half of the season. Yeah, so weather permitting, we know it's obviously going to be cold over the next few days, but it's a game that we're going to go really keen to go and win. We know it's going to be a tough game. They're a good young side. We saw that in the game back here in August. Again, disappointing for us not to take something from, and that was probably in our lowest point, I would say. We've built a lot since then, and we've got a lot stronger since then. So we're really keen to go over and get another good result. We're going to need the same characteristics we've been showing over the last few games in terms of being tough to beat, being good defensively, and being tough to play against. But I'm going to be looking for more quality for the boys in terms of when we go forward. We've got the players in the group to be able to do that. We know we're going to be in for a tough test in terms of doing it, and they play a lot of games over there on that pitch, and it can be quite difficult at times as well. So on the basis that we go ahead and the weather's kind for us, we're going to need to go there and put in a real performance to try and go and get a result. And I'm really keen for us to start 2025 on the front foot. I feel we've put a good foundation in place to be able to do that now. It's going to be about us kicking on, but we're not going to kind of look too far beyond Baldock. It's going to be a good game. Let's say they've got some real threats. They've got a couple of players that we know really well. We're going to need to go there and ready to go and first and foremost match their energy and probably surpass it really to go and get the result. And then looking for the quality from the boys in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net.